consecutive game without Charlie Serrato in the Penn State lineup. Matt Godowski denies between the circles in his own zone, soccered through center, and DeMarsico bolts far wing over the Buckeye line. DeMarsico sauced it back to the point. Shade flags it down there, fires to the net, and it jumps up. Just got it across the Penn State line, dragging into the slot. Lev Katzen knocks a man off the puck. Jackson Smith gobbles the puck up, and he gallops through center over the Buckeye line. Near wing shot kicked out by Eberle as he seals go back there with him on defense. Very few pairings nationally better than this one right here. A shot from the top of the far circle. And it goes off the shoulder of Radler off the backboard. Sam Deckett has it for Ohio State behind the Penn State net. Tries to shake free on big Jackson Smith. Hammers it from low to high. McKinley a shot from the line. It's a shot pass off the backboards. It oscillates out front. Deckett the shot. He scores! Ohio State on its first shot up through center to the red line. Chips it off the near boards. Corralled by Lawback out of the corner. Spun it back up the dasher. Hit along the kick plate. Shade pinches in, extracted by DeMarsico. Hands Webush, hurries a shot, tipped by Lawback and fended off. An aerial feed through center, skitters down into the Buckeye zone, and Lev Katzen barrels into Abel, and he crunched him into the corner, and Penn State's got the puck along the near boards. Out of the corner, Ohio State emerges with it. Casey Amon couldn't hold, and he got it on the power play. Down 1-0 here, middle of the first period. Smith goes off the stick, rattles into the corner. He's trying to come all the way across, circle to circle for Aiden Fink. Soccer free to Marsico. Grabbed by Ohio State, failed clear right to McKenna. A drive, and it's blocked out front, then cleared. He does, and Luke Misa taps it across the Buckeye line. Had 2 goals last night for Penn State. Chinda Graves the steal. Pivots at the near half-board. Sauced it back. Nolan Collins a shot off a body. Thrown to the goal again. Pawed down. And then
Eberle's struggles, right, in their goaltending struggles. You do know it. You are aware of it. They are trying to make sure there are no grade A opportunities, no grade A shots from within the house, and any rebounds there, they're able to clear away.
Ohio State wins the draw. Davis Burnside, a long-range shot from atop the far circle. Easy save for Radler. That was just the second shot tonight for Aiden Fink. Fink now blocks the boards, dealt it McKenna. McKenna strides in far circle. He's watched close by Gordon atop the far wing. Slings it back. Smith returns McKenna. McKenna to the net front off a body. Hovers just high of the net. Went off a stick and just high of the crossbar. Fink along the near dasher. Curls it to Smith. Smith across McKenna, a one-time drive! Eberle the save to his left.
Their killers have so much energy, and they are pressuring. I guarantee you they spent a lot of time watching video last night and this morning because they are pressuring the heck out of the guys on the point.
Penn State won the draw. McKenna, sharp angle shot, save Eberle. McKenna settles, 30 seconds left on the power play. Throws it to the net, off a body. It's loose near the net front, collared in by Schoen, kept alive. Misa backdoor off a skate, scramble out front, comes leaking free. McKenna across, Godowski a drive, sprawling save Eberle down to his belly. Another failed clear and a shot by Misa. Lawback stuffs, and it wouldn't go. Somehow, some way, Godowski walks on in, drags, left it into the slot, and it's chipped out by Ohio State. Lewis got the clear, and they're gonna get the kill. After everything went in last night, somehow, some way, it stayed out, and near wing had Montez with him, and he shot a bullet wide. One of the first times tonight that Penn State mismanaged the puck. You can't get frustrated because the puck hasn't gone in. It was a very productive second power play. And Thompson, they have their best players are a part of their PK unit. They get the clear, and Penn State out of its own zone here. 1 minute into this major penalty power play, nothing to show for it yet. No shots on goal to this point. McKenna dangles and gains the Buckeye zone. DeMarsico turns, tried to sauce it out front, couldn't get it through to Webush. Kept Godowski, stash it, Fink. Gallops in, far circle shot, blocked by Gordon. Into the corner for Schoen. Schoen winds it along the dasher, rings back near point Misa. Back beside the goal for Lawback, back Misa near point. Misa darts in near circle. Misa to Lawback, turns out front, stuff attempt, sealed off. Eberle made the still 1-0 Ohio State. McKenna through center. McKenna wiggles, gains the Buckeye zone, chipped it far wing Fink. Fink along the boards, hands back Smith, deep slot Smith, aside the goal, sharp angle shot, McKenna off a body, DeMarsico backhander, went just wide.
So far in this power play, it's been one and done, where they've generated a shot or an opportunity, and immediately Ohio State has been first guy on the puck.
Penn State enters the Buckeye zone, 1:42 left. Smith takes the pass at the point, poked on free Lewis. Buckeye zone, McKenna stops below the far circle. Surveys. McKenna, an 8-point night last night. Back to Smith. Goes right back McKenna. McKenna off a body. Pinballs along the line. McKenna golfed it. Comes free. Breakaway. McGinley, the defenseman. Short-handed shot save. Radler deep in the goal crease with just 65 seconds left on this power play. Carabella centers. Radler made the save again on the shot from McGinley. Penn State scrambling and gassed. A long shot. Stopped again.
11 to 12 minutes maybe here in this first period with all the power plays.
Penn State has shown Van Olm, Misa, Gadowski, and Lawback now. Final 108 of the period, final 40 seconds of the major. Misa flying through center, zips Buckeye line, hands it Lawback, rings it down low all the way near half-board. Schoen pinches, hands Misa, centers Lawback across, Van Olm fires, he scores! Shea left on the power play. One touch, Lawback near wing over the line. Saw stick Gadowski in the slot. Turns it Schoen. Schoen back to Lawback. Lawback backhands it Gadowski. Walks in near circle. Power move to the goal. And it's blocked away out.
A lot of positives to be taken from that.
Elsewhere, Michigan leads Wisconsin starting the third period tonight in Madison. Wisconsin won last night. No Big Ten home team has lost yet this weekend. Sabo was shot, final seconds.
That changed as soon as the puck dropped there to start the second period, and it was all Penn State the rest of the way.
Penn State scored a program record 6 goals in the second period last night. Puck drop in night 2 of series this year as well. We expected a good game. It's usually tight. Penn State wins the faceoff. They attack to a right 1-1 game. Smith couldn't keep it alive. Pried out to center. Chipped across the Penn State line. McBrayer, the defenseman, rising. Shot high of Raidler's goal. Nearly had a step there for the breakaway. Released the shot. Then it's tucked to the net front by Riley Thompson. And save made by Wetters. Rings it back down into the Penn State zone to our left. Picked up by Carter Shea. Now Matt DeMarsico exit feed rink wide near side. J.J. Weebush jousted to the Ohio State blue line. No further. And then belted back down into the Penn State. Saturday night, Penn State out of its own zone. Weebush one touch. DeMarsico driving the net. Ingles, the freshman defenseman, cancels it out at the net front for Ohio State. Lawback kept it alive, flung it across. Diagonally far corner, taken by Sam Deckett, the Buckeye.
Into uncomfortable situations. But really, even 5-on-5, excuse me, the few opportunities that we've seen, right, and the few minutes we've seen a 5-on-5, they've been pressuring so hard as well.
Here's Wise, drives the Penn State goal out of the far corner, raises it across the Buckeye line, pinballs around, and now swatted deep into the far corner. They work to our right. Nick Chindegraves for Penn State at the end boards in the attacking zone. Lev Katzen back to the blue line. Jackson Smith fumbles and then smacked it out.
That kid is, I stand by it. I know I said top 5, but I think he probably realistically is a top 3 defenseman in college hockey right now as a freshman.
And he's doing it at 18 years old. And Penn State here takes the penalty as Hahn comes into the Penn State zone, and a shot somehow, somewhat front. And now Ohio State with the net vacated. Penn State a delayed penalty coming up, and it took place at the attacking line. McKenna couldn't get enough contact to the puck, and Gordon snipes one short side.
And that penalty there is almost, we're starting to see a factor of a little bit of the fatigue coming in, right? We had a turnover, a poor puck management at the offensive zone blue line. Gavin McKenna has to chase, ends up hooking, and ends up in the box.
On the power play, you have Gordon playing the bumper spot without Burnside the rest of the night. He's got the puck between the rings, goes back to Carabella, far half-board, Sabo deep slot, attacking to her left. One-timer by Karan, and Raidler scramble, Thompson jamming away, wouldn't go. Raidler, you can hear the ping of the post. He went to his right, the puck was just sitting there behind him, and there was a scramble near his net. Set up out front again. Karan drives and scores. Ranked 15th nationally, it is one of the strengths of this Ohio State team this year. It's been on the wrong end of a lot of one-goal games. Had played well the last few weeks. Now given away by Penn State right in between the circles. Abel fires, and Abel is shown, and Amon come in on the forecheck. Ohio State quickly up the far boards and quickly out. Escaping Carabella, hauls it to center, over the Penn State line, between the circles, backhanded to the net front. McGinley in tight, a shot! Raidler scramble, the puck is still there, he made a stop, and then the puck is shot high of the goal.
That was trickling towards the goal line behind Kevin Raidler.
Yeah, went off Raidler's left shoulder, was knuckling behind him. Carabella's swatting at the puck. Crespo was on his butt and whacked it out of there. Here's Gavin McKenna. Penn State down 2-1. Here middle period between the circles. Dangling Smith, a drive! Great stop, Everly with the blocker for Ohio State as he went right between the circles. Now Thompson breakaway Ohio State. Shakes backhand shot. Stopped by Raidler. Saw that one. Went off his glove and wide. Fed back out front. And Ohio State's got it behind the goal now. Carabella drags, dangles, shot, robbed by Raidler to his left, pitched into the 2. Penn State won.
And I said I expected Kevin Raidler was going to need his A game tonight, and he has had it. Even though the Nittany Lions are down 2-1, or 2-1, I'm sorry, here in the second period, he has faced 10 shots, I believe, 11 shots, I stand corrected, to start the second period in just 6 minutes.
Ohio State has a drive from the deep slot by Broughton Sabo, and that one he can't stop. Listed as the goal scorer. Deckett tipped it, blocker side, on Radler. It's his second of the game, and now Penn State out of its own zone, down 2 with under 14 to play in the second. DeMarsico dragging into the slot. DeMarsico lets it fly. Save Everly. Small rebound popped off his leg. Trade, he is the defenseman. They're down to 10 forwards, 7 defensemen, only 17 skaters. You can dress 19 in college hockey. Ohio State again keeps it alive. Penn State zone. Swung down low. Isley the shot, saved by Radler. 13:15 to go, second period. 3-1 Ohio State, and Penn State needing a spark right now. Law back through center, fumbled it. Gordon picked it up, comes back right to left. Gordon lead feed wise, skates in near circle, a drive, and it's swallowed in by Radler. Goes to work along the near dasher. Chin to Graves, tied up by Hong. Squirts back behind the Buckeye goal. McGinley up the far boards. McGinley's had a good game tonight. Failed clear. Chin to Graves fires, saved by Everly out to his right. He's able to see it. Keep up the near dasher, attacking to our right. McKenna comes in to support. Ohio State wedged it free. Ohio State rink wide feed. McBrayer carries it to center. Near wing into the Penn State zone. McBrayer into the near circle. Shot, and it's snared by Radler.
And essentially, an entire 5-on-5 first 10 minutes of this second period.
Yeah, Ohio State's able to, essentially it's a win for them with Penn State's power play as Ohio State blackboards, gets it right back between the circles. Under 10 to go in the second. We're halfway home. 3-1 Ohio State. Gavin McKenna at center, swats at the puck, couldn't secure it. Had an 8-point night last night, program record, most points in 40 years.
A coaching masterclass by Coach Gadowski and Coach Petrie and what they're able to put on the ice in terms of full lines each shift.
They can, Guy said, and here it's carried to center by Misa, and Penn State's going on to the power. One just blasted into the Penn State zone. Karam's off the dasher, bad angle shot by Thompson. Sealed off and a save by Radler for Penn State. 8:05 to go in the second. 3-1 Ohio State ahead. 1:23 left here on the Penn State power play. And Penn State denied at the Buckeye line. Hong's just going to win the race to the puck deep in the Penn State zone. Set up Montez, drags to the slot. Canceled to Marzico. 2-on-1 out front. And the pass back to Montez. And he scores shorthanded.
When end on the power play, you end up with a 2-on-1 at net front. And again, there's nothing really Kevin Radler can do on that goal. It's one I just really do feel for him, and I feel for this entire Nittany Lion team.
Yeah. Short-handed goal against is the 6th shorty Penn State has allowed this year. Matt Gadowski gains the Buckeye zones, gave it away at the blue line. Hong's got a step. McKenna recovers well. Montez, though, drives the net, took the pass, and is shot off the right pack. 2-3 in the period. Ohio State rifles it down. Penn State survives as they miss management of the puck again aside the goal. Then it comes free between the circles, and a shot by Isley. Wide of Radler to his left. Wise chips it deep. Gordon battles with Smith. Gordon 1-on-1. Smith won the battle. Tossed it free. Lev Katzen waits in his own zone. And Penn State will start a change. Now he lugs it to center. Zips through center. Across the Buckeye line. Katzen far wing. Dropped it Weebush. Power move to the goal. Shoots. He scores! J.J. Weebush! For J.J. Weebush. Last night was just his 3rd goal since October. And Penn State now out of its own zone. They are back within 2, and they have numbers into the Buckeye zone. Law back near wing, drags, fires, hit a body going wide of the net. A marked man here tonight after 8 points last night. Now Misa drives it into the Buckeye zone. Fink gives chase. McBrayer's there first. McBrayer back up the far dasher, who is walloped in the corner, and the puck comes back out to center of the far corner. Shade in below the goal line. The senior defenseman kicked it to keep it alive. McBrayer had it behind the net. Then it's dug free by Penn State. Fink in the slot. A shot off of Misa. It's loose. Fink follow-up try. Wouldn't go. Misa, but he's out there giving it all he's got here in his graduate student season as Ohio State clears it down into the Penn State zone. Penn State 17 healthy bodies, 10 forwards. Gordon between the circles fires a shot and shown in front of.
It's just going to be extraordinarily painful, right? And if they told him, hey, you're probably not going to hurt it worse, he's like, I got to get back out there. I know how shorthanded we are.
They're now down to 16 healthy players. 16 healthy players, 9 forwards. It is surreal. 7 defensemen. You have Amon dressed as a forward tonight. They can really play 3 lines of forwards the rest of the way as they try to cut. Almost impossible to come from behind when playing that.
Used to say die and refuse to say they're out of it.
Yeah, they just got to get some more pucks. 2 Everly has only faced 5 shots in the period. Gadowski shakes on free from the point. Gadowski in the slot, kept it alive. Shot, save, rebound was there. Swept to the net front by Fink out of the corner. Just off his stick, not to McKenna. Now Gadowski to Fink, backhand shot, save Everly. Misa to the rebound, tucked it just wide. Wrap around Shade, save, jamming away at the 4-2 Ohio State leads Penn State. Weebush through center. taps it across the Ohio State line. Chris Abel, the defenseman, whacks it back up the far boards and back out to neutral. Ohio State a 2-on-3 across the Penn State line, far wing shot. Raidler makes the save. There's no rebound. Oh, Michigan did beat Wisconsin 3-1 tonight. They got a split in Madison. Penn State, unless there's a complete disaster at the end of the year, they are in great shape. They just need to get healthy.
Yeah.
That's the silver lining at the tail end of this. Results, throw the results out. Here's Penn State into the attacking zone. 90 seconds left in the period. A flurry of shots, but both went wide. Now, Shea drives it from the far point. Swallowed in. Smith tried to get on through a pair of Buckeyes, Carabella and Abel. And Abel and McBrayer again start against that Penn State top line. And now Penn State back through center again with speed. Misa jets between the circles. Shot. Eberle the save out to his Weebush tonight. Deckett has a pair of goals for Ohio State. You also have a Karan power play goal and a Montez shorthanded goal. 4-2 Ohio State. Approaching 18 minutes to play. Penn State chips and chases into the Buckeye zone. Ohio State was signaling to the Buckeye bench. He stays out there. Aiden Fink takes the face off and won it back for Penn State. Jackson Smith curls it McKenna. McKenna slips it Fink along the near dasher. Dealt it back McKenna. McKenna across Jackson Smith. Now they'll cross back at the blue line. Smith harassed. Peels knocked down. Rescued by Fink. Fink across McKenna. A one-time drive. Weebush at the net front. Penn State goes on the work forechecking here. 2:30 into the third. And it's their 7th power play goal of the weekend. Opportune time. They're back within one. Ohio State. Ingles a drive. Butterfly save by Raidler. Timely stop after the goal. Penn State cleans up the trash. Exit feed to Marsico. Dangling into the Buckeye zone. 1-on-2. Grabbed by Crespo. Shot. Score! Jared Crespo! Look for the lead. Fink the exit feed McKenna. McKenna drills it deep into the Buckeye zone. Carter Shade races in after it. Levels a big hit in the corner at Ohio State in its scarlet sweaters. Rainbows it out to center. Misa between his legs. Carries along the near boards. Smith back behind the Buckeye goal. Peels out into the far circle. Smith dragging into the slot. Jackson Smith to Crespo along the near wall. Back to McKenna. A one-timer and a save by Eberle out to his left. Misa back to McKenna at the blue line. McKenna to Smith, driving the net, fires short side, just missed it wide of here at Pagula. J.J. Weebush, a pair of goals tonight, bodied it down but couldn't hold the Buckeye end. Back to center. Great feed, Godowski to DeMarsico. Curls it bluntly into the slot. Lawback to drive. Eberle peeking. It's still Shade shot from the near point off his stick stays in play. Penn State attacks to her left. Lawback already a couple of assists tonight to DeMarsico. Now Weebush, who has 2 goals along the near dasher. Shakes free. Weebush then walloped down by Deckett. 5-on-4 Ohio State for the next 1:13. Thompson along the near boards. 12:30 to go. 4-4 game. Penn State rallying to tie it. Sabo across atop the far circle. Karana shot off of Raidler. It's fluttering around to him this year. Ohio State won the draw. Back behind the goal. Wrapping near circle. William Smith. Back to the line. Ingles. Point to point. Montez. Montez to Smith in the deep slot. Smith a shot and Raidler with a lot of track. And then Crespo from DeMarsico and Lawback. And Lawback having another big night tonight. Face off back into the Penn State zone. They've had to kill a couple of Buckeye power plays. Thompson's sharp angle shot. Save Raidler. Still loose behind the goal. Pass just was not there. Ohio State controls. Rifled to center. Hong peels. Throws it far wing. Gordon off the far boards. Pivots. Shakes. Walks the goal line. Power move. Throws it on. Rebound try. Save Raidler. It's still loose. He's sprung. Healthy players. 3 less than a maximum you're allowed to dress in a game. Ben Schoen leaving tonight's game injured. But they have rallied back to tie it at 4 here in the third. A shot redirected by Gordon atop the goal crease. Gordon had that big game last Saturday in their comeback win against Wisconsin. Ohio State has struggled this year, but they've had some good games here over the last month and a half. Penn State forks it back to its own line, not out. Gordon into the near circle, a drive, and it's blocked by Crespo. How? They don't ask how, especially when you're down to 16 healthy players in this conference any weekend. It doesn't matter how. You just need to get it done, and they have. They're the 6th-ranked team in the country for good reason. Long shot Montez, blockered out. Chip it deep in the Penn State zone. Aiden Fink retrieves. Fink bananas behind his goal. Fink jets out of his own zone. Fink right to left through center in a tie game. Gains the attacking end. Left it. Gavin McKenna. Shot blocked. McKenna then centers. Hong peels out into the near corner. Wiggles free behind the net. Shadowed by Christensen. Centers all the way back deep slot. McBrayer carries. Far point shot through the net front. There was traffic there. It went wide. Raidler able then to the net. It's stuffed on. Save made. Bond out front. Chipped out of there. Back up the near boards. Kept in by Sabo. Smith closed it off. They just need to get the puck out right now. And Smith rifles to center. Right to Van Olm. He's 1-on-1. He'll delay, chip it in towards Eberle, who snatches it. Gordon takes the lead feed to the Penn State line of 3-on-3. Left back far point between the circles. Isley knocked into the corner off his stick, swung back to the far point. Smith shot block goes wide of Raylor, and then Amon dumped the man shorthanded, crosses, waits. DeMarsico tries to escape, and Penn State is caught deep here. Ohio State comes ahead. It's a 3-on-3. Penn State recovered, but then centered, and a shot robbed by Raylor. Blocker stop. The rebound back to the line and kept alive by Sabo. And now a one-timer by Carabella, and he is stoned again by Raylor into the corner. It's tied up. Time ticks away. 5 seconds go off the clock before Ohio State gets the puck. And now Carabella over the Penn State line. 10 seconds left on the power play. Sabo deep slot here to start overtime. One-timer, Karan! And Raylor fended it off to his right. He blockered it away, sealing off the post. Amon is out, and another drive hit the crossbars off the far boards, back out to neutral. 4-4 game, 2:35 left. Finally, 3-on-3 here after the PK to start OT for Penn State. Smith over the Buckeye line to McKenna. He pirouettes at the near point. McKenna to Smith between the circles, harassed back high, sauced it McKenna. McKenna dangles into the low slot. McKenna fires, he scores!